So if you've clicked on this video, you're either in the market for a foam cannon and you want to know which one here you should buy, or you're just interested in general about detailing. You might already have one of these or something else, and you might be comparing it against another to get a secondary foam cannon. Yours might be broken. I'm not sure, but you clicked on this video because you're interested in foam cannons.
So basically how a foam cannon works is you put your diluted soap into the bottle.
Yep.
There's a pickup tube. It sucks the product up. Inside here, you're going to have water coming in from your pressure washer. There's like a little aerator foamy thing there that sort of produces the foam, and then it blows out nice thick foam onto the surface of your car. So that's the basic principles. Why you'd want foam onto the surface of your car. It's just a way of getting soap onto the paint.
Yep.
It's a way of maybe allowing that soap to dwell and to break down that dirt and grime onto your vehicle, and it just looks really cool on Instagram shots.
It's fun. It's like, for most people, the most enjoyable part of the detailing process. I know my dad talked to me recently. We gave him a foam cannon and he's really excited. What do I put in there? How do I use it? I've seen you do that on a video. How does it all work? I've been interested in it, but it feels like a big barrier for a lot of people. It's really, really simple. If you have a pressure washer,
you need to get the connection right from the gun of your pressure washer to the end of the foam cannon. So we all have quick disconnects onto our foam cannons.
All of these are the same now.
But I mean, you could probably buy a foam cannon suited towards your pressure washer. It just depends. So you do need to do a little bit of research around that. There are heaps of attachments that you could buy to help sort of bridge the gap between the gun of your pressure washer and the foam cannon. But carry on.
Where I started with foam cannons, actually, I mean, you started here, but you can actually, a lot of the pressure washer manufacturers make their own foam cannon.
Yeah,
like
they do.
Karcher make one that clips into their system. I would probably stay away from those. I would just go, I'm going to buy a good foam cannon and I'll figure out the connection rather than buying the brand of your pressure washer, because a lot of those are very plastic and very, very cheap. You get some additional features by going into one of
So
these.
essentially every foam cannon on the market has got the same head to it.
Yeah.
So every sort of knockoff, every sort of rip-off, every sort of decent foam cannon, I suppose, has got the same sort of head on it, and you can definitely see that through different iterations of the foam cannon. And so, you know, you're going to spend somewhere around about $60 for the classic style foam cannon.
Yep.
And it's basically what you're paying for is you're paying for this head mechanism. So you're paying for the part where it attaches to the gun. There's some adjustability on there about how much air you're going to add to the foam. And then you've got your bottle and basically the neck, and you've also got the fan adjustment. So how narrow or wide the fan is when it's spraying out the foam onto your vehicle.
Well, that's it. You've generally got two bits of adjustability on these, don't you? You've got your fan and your dial. How much water to air ratio you're getting, and your fan setting.
And the other key thing is that some of these newer foam cannons are coming with a little screw-in piece that goes into the inside of the head of the machine here. Now, I'd recommend you go onto the Obsessed Garage website. You have a look at his pressure washer spreadsheet. It'll tell you about what pressure washer you have and which sort of little tip you need in the inside of here, and that will help you not overload your pressure washer when you're spraying foam onto the vehicle. A lot of these come with the wrong one for your crappy pressure washer that you have, so you're probably going to need to change this out.
That's your orifice. So if you've got a foam cannon already and it's not producing good foam, or you're really hearing your pressure washer struggle to keep up with it, you might be hearing purging or horrible sounds from your pressure washer, you've probably got the wrong size orifice in there.
And I think a lot of them come with a 1.2 size tip in there. I think you need, for the majority of people, I think you need a 1.1 in there.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are, like, what's standard, 1.25?
So for the Griots Garage, for example, they come with a 1.25 already built in. So you'll need to take that out. And for the majority of people, it'll be the 1.1 that you want to put in there.
But go to the Obsessed Garage website. There's a really good spreadsheet there to be able to decide the orifice size. Most of the foam cannons will come with a couple of options for you, so you don't need to buy anything separate. This was the first foam cannon that you purchased, and I mean, to be fair, you could go on AliExpress, I think, and find 50 different variants that look almost exactly the same.
Exactly the same. That foam cannon works absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's great.
It produces great foam. There is no problem with that foam cannon.
No, it doesn't have a lot of the additional features that some of the others have. This is just bare bones. It doesn't have a weighted tube on it, so you've just got a standard pickup tube there. The bottle it's cloudy like a lot of the others, which is actually a bit of a pain.
Hardened plastic, I suppose.
Hardened plastic, but just...
It is a bit difficult to see where your product is. It does have the measuring gauge on the side. The problem with that is that it doesn't really stand nice and flat. So when you're sort of, filling it up or whatever, I mean, you can balance it there, but it's also got a very narrow neck, so it's hard to get product in there as well.
Very top heavy here, isn't it? And that's where a product like this, so this is the MJJC, you've got the slightly different bottle design. So it tapers out, and that way it balances a lot easier. It takes that top heaviness and distributes it, I guess, out. And I think the thing that I like with this, so again, very, very similar to the Meguiar's one here. Your makeup at the top is very similar. You've got your same dial, you've got your fan adjustment, you've got your quick disconnect. Two features that I think stand out for me on this one, and why I buy it over this here. First of it is what you can see banging around in there, is the weighted tube. I really like the weighted tube on a foam cannon.
It's good so that when you get to like getting lower in the bottle, you can like put it on its side, you can get all the foam out. It just helps to get that little bit last drop out there. I also like the clear container here so I can see how much of product I've got in there. Do I need to hurry up with my foaming, or can I slow down a little bit?
I find it's not necessarily as important for me while I'm actually foaming, but it's more when I'm getting this set up. I can put this down and I can really clearly see how much product I'm putting in and how much water, because the lines on here, the markers, are easy to read. And I think that's something that it's unfortunate that these two products here don't give you the option of being able to easily read. Like the frosted, this is not even frosted, this is like a...
It's just a way of making the plastic hard.
I know.
Hardened plastic.
But this is hard plastic as well. So it just frustrates me that this is a really good foam cannon and we use this for such a long time. This is the MTM PF 22.2. There is a new version of this.
They've also got an older version. So the older version was a sort of a kidney bean shaped type bottle that didn't balance very well. So then they upgraded that to this sort of triangular based bottle, and then they've upgraded that again to a triangle based bottle with a wider neck. So MTM have only really done bottle upgrades to their products. They haven't really sort of done anything to the way that this foams or been any special about that.
Because if you look at this one, you've got a, what's that, maybe just an inch opening?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have to be as accurate with the product that you're
putting in. And remember, you're generally putting in quite thick foam as well. So this here is really annoying to actually get product.
Look at the difference. Yeah, you have to be accurate with this, or you have to attach a funnel or a spout or something to that. I think MJJC got it right with us, and that was probably the letdown of this, is that I almost think like this feels like a better built foam cannon. Like I feel like it's superior quality. Is.
But I suppose what you could do is you could now get the bigger wide mouth. Now.
You could. So you could alleviate that. I think the weighted tube is pretty important. But to be fair...
And the build quality of this is nicer. Yeah. You know, we've got a nice clicking dial here for your adjustments. And so the part that does all the work is definitely nicer built.
I would be drawn toward this more so than this. Current version. I think the newer version of this alleviates the... I guess the wideness in the area that you've got to fill it. But I think this here with the wider, so this is the MJJC S 3.0, I think because it has the wider mouth, the ability to see through it, and the weighted tube, like it has a lot of legs up on, not the Griots, but on the MTM foam cannon. I don't think this is a bad purchase. I was very skeptical when we tested it out, but it impressed me enough to keep it around for a while. Then we've landed on the Griots Garage. So we have 4 of these in our setup now, and this to us is the best foam cannon that is currently on the market that we have tried.
So the build quality of this is really nice. We've got the hardened plastic, so it's going to have your longevity there. This whole foaming neck piece is built really nice.
Yeah.
It's got a wide neck in the inside here, so you can actually get your thick soap into here.
What I like about this is, there's a couple of things actually. So on the bottle itself, it is tough again to see the gauges, the marks. And I mean, to me, like a clear bottle on this would be fantastic, as long as it could be hardened plastic like this, or just even just a clear little slit down here so I can see where the product is.
You've got.
But we do have a wide enough mouth on there that I can pour product, even from a gallon, and not miss, versus this one here, where you probably are losing some product. I like the fact that you can actually buy these separate as well. So yes, Griots sell these standalone.
Extra bottles, so you can make up all your soap mixture that you want, and then you can just store them on your shelf and then choose your product at the time when you're
because they come with a really nice lid as well. So that means you only need to buy one main setup with your actual foaming head, and then you could have 3 or 4 of these on your shelf with different products in them. So I think that is a number 1 plus for this for me. It's got that weighted tube, so like the MJJC, you've got the ability to pick up product. But is that your favorite part?
Yeah, the metering system in these products.
So the bottom of the pickup tube here, Griots supply 3 metering tips. Now, which metering tip you need depends on what pressure wash you've got, what type of product you're delivering.
Tip gas pressure washer.
Yep.
There's a tip for an electric pressure washer that produces really thick foam, and I think there's another tip for electric that produces a more of a
Like
runny
that.
foam.
Yeah. So you got 3 different options. We made a standalone video on this pressure washer, on this foam cannon, sorry, with our pressure washer. So you can go and have a look at that to see more about the pickup dilution system. But I think that for me is like a game-changing feature of this here.
Yeah, they've done something unique here.
Yeah.
So you just pour in straight soap here,
Yeah.
and through the metering system, through the pickup tube, it will basically work out exactly how much water you need for the amount of product that you got, so you produce nice thick foam.
Yeah, this is just slowing down the pickup of product, and because you've got the weighted tube as well, even if you only have, a small amount of product in here, 100 ml of soap, you don't want to fill it up all the way, that is going to move around in the bottle and you're going to pick it up. But the benefit as well is you could fill this bottle up all the way to the top with soap, and then you don't need to worry about mucking around with this every wash. You've just got this set ready to go with your metering tip in there. You can sit it on the shelf, and yeah, if you have a wheel cleaner, yep, you could have that set up separately. You may, in that case, need to be taking out that little metering system if you're going to use it with different products.
Or if the soap didn't quite work so well, maybe the soap works better if it's diluted. So you can use pre-diluted soap in there, just take that out and you're good to go. So I think the usable features of the foam cannon are good.
This is easy to take out as well. It takes you 30 seconds and you can take that out. The main thing is not to lose them. But again, Griots, I thought of everything. They sell these separately as well. So if you do lose them, you can buy a new set of them. And then you've bought out the foaming surface prep. Well, you bought out a bottle.
Because it's got another unique feature to it. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Just don't get the tube dirty.
Okay.
You have to clean it.
Yeah, fair enough. So on the inside thread of the Griots foam cannon, you've actually got 2 threads. So you've got the outer thread, which is used for the foam cannon bottle, and you've got an inner thread as well, which is shaped to match up with the thread pattern on the Griots soaps. So the way that you can do this is you could get your metering system all set up, and instead of grabbing the foam cannon bottle, you could just screw this onto the actual product that you're going to use.
So the product has basically replaced the bottle.
Correct. So now you've got it set up, ready to go like this, and you can swap in and out of different soaps or different foaming products. Super, super easy. I think that's really thoughtful in a...
and it works really well if you're going to stay within the side of the Griots Garage ecosystem.
There's nothing stopping you as well from buying a Griots bottle, finishing the product in it, and then filling it with your favourite soap as well. That would alleviate the need to have multiple bottles like this on the shelf if you do switch from soap to soap. I think that is a really cool feature. Foam cannon wise, I don't think there's much that could beat the Griots for me right now.
Yeah, so I mean, all of these foam cannons, they produce really good foam if you're in the right setting. Like you've got your dilution of your soap really nailed. You're using a good quality soap. You've got the pressure right to the foam cannon. And your system inside here isn't clogged. So if all those things are aligned, you can produce really good foam in basically all of these foam cannons. The thing that makes these foam cannons different is the user experience. Does it stay balanced? Is there a weighted tube in here? Is there a metering system? Are there some quirky features that sort of make me want to buy that product? Is it a company that's going to innovate and do some slightly different things and change a few things up to make me want to buy that product? And so that's why we like the Griots Garage. It's got a lot of different variations in that product that make the user experience really nice, and so that's why we've chosen to use that as our foam cannon of choice.
I think the only foam cannon that we need to get our hands on to test out is the new version of the PF22. However, I don't think that it is going to replace the Griots for me, and just having a wider mouth on it.
And at SEMA, and I have seen now, and you just spoke about that a couple of minutes ago, is that Mosmatic have brought out their version of the foam cannon. It looks quite interesting. It looks very expensive and overpriced. And we did have a little bit of a play with it at SEMA. It did look like a really bulky tool. So it would be interesting to try that too and see if that, changes the game up a little bit. Let's see if they've engineered something a little bit quirky there. But you're right. For us, we're definitely down here.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with anything. I wouldn't buy this one because it's so top heavy.
Well, if you were worried for price and you were stuck on how much money you're going to buy, then you could buy the generic foam cannon basically on every website.
Yeah.
And you couldn't really go wrong because that is just the generic foam cannon. It's just got Maguire sticker.
I wouldn't pay for the name brand on this. I would go on Ali if you were going to buy it.
And just buy the generic version.
You're probably going to find this is going to break after a while because it is so top heavy that it's just going to fall over. So yeah, if you're looking for a foam cannon, I don't think you can go past the Griots Garage one until we test out more. So if your favorite foam cannon is not here, don't get upset. Maybe we haven't tried it. Drop us a link in the comments if you think that yours is superior to the Griots. And I think more so, we're interested in any foam cannons that actually innovate and change the game a little bit, which we think the Griots has with a metering system and the dual thread. Everything else on the market that we've tried is just kind of the same as the others. So I think if there's something out there that you think innovates and does something
Yeah,
different,
drop us a comment. Let's create a discussion around why you like a product, why you don't like it. Everyone else likes to hear not just our opinion in the comments as well.
Yep.
People like to talk amongst themselves. So drop us a comment, like the video, subscribe, and stay tuned for more product reviews from Omni Garage.
cool. Catch you guys on the
Thanks
next
for
video.
watching.